start it by saying Yu-Gi-Oh is gay. Gay.
I have that on recording.
Hearthstone's
Brag!
great.
Brag! Put it in the intro! Hey guys, and welcome back to another C4G video. My name is Blake, and I'm here with Andrew.
Yep.
And the Floss boss.
Hi.
And this is a little different. As this channel has gone, we're going to do something a little outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! But we've all been playing a lot of Hearthstone recently, so we thought it would be fitting to go over these huge changes that are happening in Hearthstone. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into it because we've got a lot to cover, and I thought we would just get everyone's opinions quick and smart. So, the Hall of Fame, or as we will now call it, Hearthstone BANLIST 2.0. We are actually pissing off cards that aren't being rotated. So
This is like the best Hall of Fame I feel since the first one. This feels amazing.
what one did Ice Block go out in? Because
That was the first one.
all right.
No, Ice Block wasn't the first one.
Was it?
First
not?
one,
Oh,
first
the
one was
first
Sylvanas
just-
and Ragnaros.
Was it just those two though?
I think there was one or two others, but Ice
It's
Block was
almost
definitely
like
not.
we have a
the same.
computer in front of us and we could search this.
Yeah, I'm googling it now.
Go with the research.
Yeah, first one, Sylvanas and Ragnaros were the first ones, plus some
Yeah,
others,
they
but they
felt
were the
so good,
significant
though.
ones. That was pretty rough. I mean, yeah, it was good and rough.
Good and rough. That's the way I like it.
That's the way I like it. That's
God. All right. Anyway.
how I like my heart.
Yeah, that's how I like my Hearthstone. Me versus Priest. All right, so, but to explain, the Hall of Fame cards are Gen, Greymane, and Baku the Moon something or rather. I actually don't know its name.
Moon Eater.
Moon Eater. It eats the moons.
Done eats the moon.
Look, it's just it's just
Okay,
telling
I'm-
everyone that we should all eat ass. Anyway, what's up?
I'm gonna quickly interrupt to say Ice was the first year with Drake, Power Overwhelming,
I said Ice Block.
Conceal, Rag, and Sylvanas. So
Oh, there you go.
get some.
I
was
said
right.
Ice Block. What are you talking about?
No, you said Ice
Oh, it's-
Block.
Icelands was that year.
Oh,
sorry.
Iceland's went. Yeah, because Freemage
Yeah.
went.
Wait, did you say
Ice-
Ice Block?
Ice
Man,
Block-
I'm
Ice Block-
totally mixed up at this
Ice
point.
Block did get Hall of Fame just like one or two later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It really should have been in that first one. That was the only thing bad about the first one.
That's fair. Well, so
Oh,
we have
carry on.
Gen and Baku, which means the odd and even style decks are Gornskis. But before we go over that, I'll quickly go over the other ones. We're gonna have Doomguard Gorn, Divine Favor Gorn, Naturalized Gorn, and all of the odd and even relevant cards. So let's start with Gen and Baku.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe just a prefix to this first. So for any listeners who haven't looked into this, the traditional thing of Hall of Faming is when something is in standard or classic, and the idea is it was never meant to rotate, and it gets Hall of Famed as a rotation because it wouldn't naturally rotate like other sets do. And
It's
this is
the
where Gen and Baku are very different.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that
Yeah,
for?
it's the idea that a card is so relevant in every single deck, and it just limits deck choices. So even it's only really ever been basic cards. Yeah, classic set.
Yeah, like.
But we
Naturalized.
have an exception now.
Well, we have an exception now, which is two cards that came out in Witchwood.
Which would
which would have been relevant for another which would have been relevant for another year. But so the whole purpose of this, I think, was because, and as Kibler put it very well, how do you nerf these cards? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
they're just awful. Like, the only good one I saw was that maybe they could be a battle cry and they started in your hand, but then that convolutes the point of even, because even the whole part of it is that you can use the hero power on turn one. That's like a huge part of it.
And it makes irrelevant the entire other cast of, not that any of them are really used except Mux Sparkeel, but like
Yeah,
it makes all those
and
cards
Black
completely
Cat.
redundant if you nerf Gen and
Yeah.
Baku pretty much to any extent.
Yeah.
And then the limit
Yeah,
on
Black
deck
Cat.
design, unfortunately, is you got to be always thinking like, does whatever this card do, does it become overpowered in combination with being odd or even?
Yeah, I said to Floss, like, the idea that you put this at the start of your rotation means that either you have, like, the best designers in the whole world because they've designed 2 years into the future and gone, what could possibly be broken, like, and designed around odd or even completely, or they've thought this was a great idea to sell the first set or make the first set relevant, and then gone, oh shit, this is really good. We have to structure everything around being odd or even, as you said. So it's. I think that this was probably the only appropriate response. It's good that these are the cards going out because people get some dust back, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
Blizzard have openly said themselves on the bit that was talking about all this stuff. They said they never intended odd and even to be anywhere near as dominant as they've said here. Their major purpose was to do something different.
No, that's the
Did
thing.
anyone think
Nobody.
they were gonna
Yeah,
be this
no,
good?
this is fair.
Like I didn't.
In all the
No,
the preview videos and stuff, even like very very experienced players were like, this could be good, but it's nothing like we saw, which is that happens, right? Like,
yeah.
But so we've got Doomguard, Divine Favor, and Naturalize. So Doomguard for me, like, why were they filling cards?
No, I completely understand Doomguard. I don't know if it's because I've been playing for longer, but Doomguard, honestly, like, it's so big and it always has been in any sort of aggro. And you forget how relevant Zoo has actually been over the last, like, year and a bit.
Yeah, well, I think, though, my only counter to that would be, you said the very purpose of the Hall of Fame was cards that constantly keep popping up in decks. I don't know that we've seen Doomguard relevant in a deck since Zoo, and Zoo hasn't been played in a few months now. Like,
Doomguard has always been around in one form or another. Like, it was even in Reno Lock even back in the day.
Well, I mean like recently. I mean, because on the lead up to this, we've had months leading up to this where Zoo has literally not been a thing. And Heal Zoo was the last deck to play, and Heal Zoo was only relevant like at the start of Witchwood. So we haven't seen Doomguard do anything in a few months now.
I think what you also have to consider is that it limits what's coming out for them. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
A big thing I think is that it limits their designers. Yeah, Andy's right. Like, Doomguard has come up every year continuously. It's always a staple in Warlock. Like, it made Cube Lock so stupid. I know Void Lord sucks, but like the OTKs and possible with Doomguard were just ridiculous. And I think it just sorely limits the kind of decks they can make.
Yeah, I think.
See, one of the things that broke decks cards like that as well, I suppose, where we see a big difference between this and say Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, is like the cost association. So, for example, you could have no cards in hand, and the cost of a Doomguard is to discard 2 cards. But if you don't have them, it just says, sure, I guess you get it for free then.
Yeah, but the thing is though, and I don't know that, like, I'm not sure about how we're thinking about this because we're looking at previous formats where this has been good or reasons why this has been good, and this isn't a nerf. We're actually just getting rid of it from standard. So I don't know that just talking about, because it was ridiculous in Cube Lock. It was ridiculous, but that's not a reason for it to be rotated. I think fair enough.
It's been
like,
too much play over the years, and that's pretty much how they justify this.
Yeah. So if they've got stuff coming up for Warlock right now that they go, we want to take Warlock in this direction, and we feel like having Doomguard around will put it in a different direction, I could see that. Like, that would make more sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is the fact that Divine Favor's gone. Because to me, Divine Favor was only kept alive via Odd Paladin. In Wild right now, you don't play Divine Favor in any other Paladin, and I haven't seen Divine Favor played in
Melloc Paladin traditionally had it for a long time.
Not anymore, though, and not for a while.
Variant.
Like, that's the thing. I played the spam variant, and we dropped it a long time ago.
I think the way you're looking at it is what's being played right now, whereas what they're looking at is more longevity over the game. It's like Azadrake is not the best card on its own. It's never going to be like a meta definer, but it limits your deck choice because it's like the way they looked at Rag and Sylvanas was you just automatically throw through these in most decks, and if you're I agree with you, but is that Divine Naturalize? They justify. I'm going on to like. The way they justifies Naturalize in their statement is that it's a card that goes against the design and the weaknesses of Druid, and Paladin has been turned into a more aggressive class pretty much solely on the back of Divine Favor for years. Like, Paladin can always abuse aggro strategies just because of Divine Favor. Okay,
so, but if you're, I guess then that's saying that you don't want Paladin to be an aggressive deck then, which is fair. Like, if that's not the way we want to go with this, that's understandable. It just, to me, like,
through to that class, it's just a really good card as well on top of that.
It
Like,
it is right, but I think that
and it feels so bad.
It does, but that card was also really, really bad a majority of the time. As someone who played the
What do you mean?
as someone who played the living shit out of that card is a dead draw against any other in any mid range deck. It's a dead draw against any aggro deck. It's a dead draw. Like really, really bad draw. It can lose you the game because you don't have the cards to play early if you draw this to compete with those decks. The only way it's a good draw is against really, really greedy control. Because there's control meta games that have been lost on the back of, okay, they just don't have enough cards. Well, but then you do get the mage matchups or the priest matchups sometimes, or especially the warrior matchups where, yes, you do draw 6-7 cards off this one card. So that is true, but I don't feel like this is an auto include in every paladin deck. I think that I don't think at all. I do think though it does maybe go against, if you want paladin to be a more control based archetype, or the flavor of paladin and the flavor of the deck is that you want it to be more control. I think that you're right. I think that does go against the main purpose of it, but I don't think this is an auto include in any paladin at all. Like the majority of paladin decks right now, other than odd, do not play this card.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I would also say
So yeah, like what Floss was touching on before is that like over the years, and you haven't been here for a lot of it, there was a whole heap of it used over the time as well too. So you've got things like there was like Secret Paladin. You played in Secret Paladin, didn't you, Floss?
a little bit. I was quite late to that sort of time.
Yeah. So the Paladin secrets are the cheapest in the game. So the idea is like you just like as an example of a different time, that was if you opened your secrets, you played just a shitload of them. And then, in a turn or two, you're down to 1 or 2 cards. You Divine Favor for 5 or 6, and then all of a sudden you've got the advantage on board, and then you've got it in hand again as well. So it's just like, I think they're just, and it's another thing what we touched on before, I think about design possibilities. So for example, now they could very easily push Paladin as a low-cost spam deck, but then it's like, well, do you commit to the board or not? Because now you're going to get punished, whereas before you can commit to the board and then replenish your full hand, right?
Yeah, but this is true. But again, only against one type of deck, though. You know what I mean?
Look, if you draw 3 cards off Divine Favor, it's doing more than its job.
Yeah, it's still better than Arcane Intellect.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that still implies that again you're versing one kind of deck, though. Like even
mid-range, it depends on the variant.
Maybe mid-range sometimes against mid-range hunter or rattle hunter, but if you're drawing against those decks, you've lost the game. Absolutely. So it just to me, I definitely see the argument that if you want to make Paladin a more, if they do want to go the aggro way with Paladin, and it seems like they kind of are, between Call to Arms and Odd as a thing, I can definitely see why you'd put it out now, because if you want to introduce some really cool aggro cards coming into this next expansion, and some of them might gain a little bit of advantage, you definitely don't want this card to be around. So I absolutely see that if that was
I think it's also like Andrew touched on this a little bit, but it's that mindlessness of I can play all my cards without thinking about it. Like I think value cards are quite important, especially in aggro. Like you want
4-mana card that tutors though.
4-mana
card that tutors is all I'll say.
You at least want to design an aggro deck with some thought behind it as to how am I going to keep my value, how am I going to keep tempo, rather than it just being an all-out, like, I use all my cards and then I have nothing, which is always the worst aggro decks. But this takes out that aspect entirely for Paladin. Like, no matter what the Paladin aggro deck is.
I think quite nicely.
Well, yeah. Well, no, but the thing is that Zoo had Solarium. And, well, even previous to this, Zoo had Life Tap. So you had a free way to net cards.
Yeah, and Life Tap
not as good, don't get me wrong. No, actually, sorry. I think it is as good. I think it is as good, because Life Tap is always good. It damages you in Heal Zoo.
But I mean, the sense is, like, you couldn't... with Zoo, you still had to be reasonably smart about when and what you played to the board type of thing.
Well, yeah, this is true.
You're only netting one card a turn. And
I would argue that's way better. I would argue
But
that's
you
way
are
better
spending
than
2 mana on it, as opposed to 3 mana to have possibly 5 cards.
Yeah, but it's a thing of like
instantly
how
as
often.
well.
But that it's a thing of like life tap
I'm
is
saying-
always better. Is always better
Yeah.
on a more often occasion.
So what I'm saying is, by comparison with Zoolock, like often they'll run out of the cards quickly. I mean, I'm just saying, can you imagine something with similar explosiveness to Zoolock, which other variants of Paladin have had, where they explode? Like, let's just do the comparison of, let's just say, Imp into Voodoo Doll into double Happy Ghoul,
Yeah.
and then you're like, well, fuck, and then they're like, oh, by the way, bring my hand back to 6 after I've just spent it all. Like that's how some of the previous Paladin ones had a similar type of play. Obviously not exactly the same.
No.
But,
I see what you're saying though. It's still because again, if you look at like the secrets, for example, they're low cost spells you can rinse from your hand really easy, and then to end your turn, you can go draw whatever. Like I absolutely see the point, but again, it's that thing of like, are you really limiting deck choices because this is a card? I think the more likely scenario is the one Andrew brought up, which is they may want to go aggressive, and if they go aggressive, this can't be around. It just doesn't to me seem like this is a card that's limiting deck choices in Paladin, because the majority of Paladin decks right now are in the top % of the meta, and a majority of them don't run this card. It's one deck that does. So I'm like, I think it's or it might be that they don't want Paladin to be aggressive and they want it to be more classic control, which I don't know if Paladin was that way before. If it was, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. One other thing I quickly wanted to say about Divine Favor is it just, like, I'm only saying from seeing threads about Hall of Fame ever since Hall of Fame started, Divine Favor was always pretty top of the list. Like, aside from
people
the ones
hate
that have
that
already
card.
been
No,
Hall
you're
of
right.
Fames
People
in
fucking
the-
hate
in the
that
coming
card.
year, it just feels bad. Like, people genuinely don't like this card. So I think it makes sense that they've actually listened and just, whether or not it's like 100% logical, hasn't been played in a while, whatever.
No.
People
but
just
you're
don't
right.
like it.
No.
so they're
You're
rotating it.
100% right. People
they're
hate this
actually
card.
listening.
No, you're 100% correct. In saying that though, the people who hate this card are greedy control players, so they can lose anyway. I don't care. Get fucked. I don't care. Get fucked. I've seen mage players get mad enough. I don't care. Get fucked. If you have 10 cards in hand, absolutely. No, that's totally fair.
This was meant to be quick. Yeah.
Naturalize makes sense on all fronts, right? Every single druid deck plays this card.
I love this.
And it contributes to overdrawing your opponent. It can kill things like Hydronox. It can kill things like Cube. Fuck the card off.
It made the Tog genre a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it made the stupid deck swap genre a thing just pretty much by itself.
See, I played... Naturalize was considered actually, like, for a long time, has gone between being okay and bad. Like, I played it when it was kind of bad in Jade Druid because I needed I just needed an out to problem cards.
I remember you showing me that and you being like, no, this card's good. And I was like, I mean, I'll trust you. I haven't played the game. And every month,
it was necessary. But in that strategy, it was good. It wasn't great. It was good. And it was, because overdrawing your opponent wasn't really much of a thing in that particular meta.
Yeah.
But now there's so many ways to do that. So many times where people get a lot of card draw and stuff, and you can punish whenever you see them with like 9 cards in hand, you're like, oh shit. People will sometimes even do bad naturalizers just to potentially overdraw them.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not even 9 cards. Like, you start at 8, like, and you can still overdraw them. Like, naturalize is so stupid.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's pretty much stock standard. Like, we agree this card's fucked.
And I think as well, one of the reasons I feel like it got Hall of Fame now is because the power level of everything else about Druid went up so far that they were like, there's really nothing wrong with this class.
We'll discuss this a little bit later, but it's like interesting you say that because like Druid is losing so much in this list.
No, dude, Druid's dead. Like, I'll be the first. Yeah, okay. So let's quickly, because the rotation's going to be nuts to talk about. So also in this, all these updates are coming should be April with the new set. The other thing that's coming is a new solo adventure. So new solo adventure is paid for, either in gold or in monies, which is I have no problem with, but we can talk about that later. So the introduction of this solo adventure is bringing a bunch of shit. So I will read out said shit. So it looks like 15 packs at least. A gold pack a gold classic pack for finishing it. 2 card backs, and we have a bunch of stuff. So we have anomaly mode, whatever that is, heroic mode, whatever that is, tavern encounters, 9 new henchman heroes, 27 hero powers, 36 starting decks, 5 chapters, 75 bosses, track your victories, pause mid-game. I don't know why that's relevant. Xyle Shadow Cloak, which maybe is a new skin for a hero, and 15 card packs, and 1 gold classic pack. So that sounds cool. I'm very excited. I like that solo content.
Just to clarify, Blake, heroic's already a setting on all the adventures, but
I'm just reading.
It's when you want to.
I'm just reading the fucking thing. You can't.
said whatever that
when you want to
is.
read. So when you want to redo them just on a harder difficulty, that's all.
Mother bitch, fuck.
Usually,
I'm just reading the
usually
fucking
for no
thing.
actual reward as well.
God
It's just like,
damn.
Yeah,
Maybe there will be a reward.
gotta
I don't know.
the League of Explorers one
You
was
suck.
hard as hell, but the card back was like so juicy.
I'm over this bullying. I'm moving on. No. All right.
You're just a Hearthstone baby.
I'll
You're not
slap both of you.
a gold,
I'm
like,
sorry.
gold.
Who ranked the highest this season? I'm pretty sure it was me. Actually, Andy did.
Was it?
Andy
No,
did
I-
four.
I
Andy
had
did
4
4
as
in
well.
standard.
I had
Andy did
4 as
4 in
well.
standard.
I didn't really play. I
yeah.
think I still reached 5 or something.
You were in 3 like last or 2 in last, so I'm gonna shut up.
Look,
Anyway.
I'm in my final year of uni. I don't play Hearthstone.
Listen.
No, I do, but shouldn't.
Arena updates. I played a fair bit of Arena, so I'm actually really keen for this, but we'll see what you guys think. So Arenas, a few updates. The wins on heroes now count towards your golden hero. This won't be catching up people with wins already in Arena though, which is kind of sucky, but that's cool. So certain sets will be in Arena now, so it's not just the standard or whatever standard is right now. So the first ones announced it'll be the standard and classic set. It'll be Naxxramas, Whispers of the Old Gods, Witchwood, and the April expansion. And they'll be the Arena ones for, I guess, one set or so on. I think this is fucking cool. Wild Arenas have always done well.
I know. I honestly don't care for Arena, like standard Arena, but whenever Wild Arena comes around, I'm all about it, and I love watching videos on it. I'm so into this idea.
Cool. Might make more people jump into Arena, which is cool. But there's a few small quality of life updates, which is like, so all sets ongoing. So the next 3 sets are going to have an overarching story, apparently, which is cool. I'm keen to see that. They're updating the deck, the smart deck builder. So, you know, the recommended. So, no. Hear me out, right? This is actually really fucking cool. So, the missing cards now, if you have the cards in your possession already, the Blizzard client or whatever runs Hearthstone, whatever client runs Hearthstone, will access some database they have and then give you recommendations based on the highest win rate cards in the deck you're building. So it's net decking but better.
That's strange though, because it might fulfill the wrong purpose as the card you're needing to replace.
Yeah, I'm not sure
You know
how
what
it'll
I mean?
work, but from what I've seen,
Yeah.
it will look at the deck you've decided to build and the cost of the card, and then show you the highest win rate costs that your possession has, which is really interesting.
Honestly, I'm not complaining. It was just so bad before.
Yeah, it was.
It
The other
was
thing
so
is
bad.
they're introducing random card backs, which is cool for people who have card backs.
Yeah.
I have like 10, so fuck your mum. I don't know. But that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so
It's a bit whatever.
moving on to the actual part of the podcast where we talk about all this shit. We've got a bunch of rotations, and geez almighty, I'm not convinced that there are any cards anymore. I think that every card in Hearthstone's rotating out. I'm pretty sure. Like,
Blake, this is your first like, proper rotation. Though.
What is it, River Crocolisk left?
yeah, that's it. That's
and
it.
Chewingeti.
And
We're all
Snowflipper
back
Penguin.
to the tutorial, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's
Everyone's playing the
Millhouse. It's Millhouse, and but yeah, this is the first rotation I'm ever gonna see. Which is wait, no, this is incorrect.
It's your first full rotation, so
Yeah,
you've
it's the
been
first
playing
full
since
rotation.
like since what was it?
Kobolds.
Frozen Throne.
Kobolds.
I'm pretty sure you were playing during Frozen Throne. So
Okay,
this
I
is your
remember
first rotation
one of the
where you
earliest
know
things I
most of the
remember.
set.
I remember Innovate getting nerfed and Fiery War Axe getting nerfed.
Yeah, and I couldn't explain to you how important that was.
That's fair. Well, speaking of which,
Don't understand. Yeah.
so we'll go through the sets. The sets rotating out are Ongoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and Kobolds and Catacunts, which was I just hate that set. Whatever.
Just as a prefix to what we've done, we've taken a list of what we think our personal choices as to.
No. We've taken a list of the most important cards, hands down, by any person's accord. This is the most official list you'll find.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even scroll down and see all this.
Okay,
Guys,
so
what the hell?
I will read it out. So we can get live reactions from the Floss boss. All right, here we go. So in Ongoro, the neutral cards that are rotating out are Firefly, Glacial Shard, Devilsaur Egg, Stonehill Defender, Tar Creeper, Vicious Fledgling, Charged Devilsaur, and Primordial Drake. That's some cards I thought were in standard.
All of those are so good. What the hell?
I'm gonna be honest. I thought like
that?
Firefly was in standard. I thought Stonehill Defender was in standard. I thought Tar Creeper was in standard. I'm not gonna lie.
You're such a baby.
No, it's just just generically cards that everyone plays. So I'm like, I guess they must be just like standard fucking Hearthstone cards that are just like. But yeah, so like Firefly is huge in every deck. Glacial Shard, God, I'm happy that's gone. What an AIDS card. Like,
I hate Glacial Shard actually. That is a really nerf card.
Ice to meet you.
Ice to see you goodbye, bitch.
Stonehill Defender, I think, is the biggest one out of the generic ones, though. I feel like that is like probably more impact than any.
Yeah. Nah,
any other one.
don't disrespect my boy like that. Don't disrespect the Flappy boy like that.
Tar Creeper was really
absolutely
influential until I can't really remember what came out that made it.
Recently.
I think when Chain Gang came out, it became less relevant. But like before that, Tar Creeper was like, man, what a defining card! It just staved off aggro so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so good in control lock. So good.
Fledgling Leaving's probably for the best. That card was nutso. Straight to the face. End of game. Devilsaur and Drake will still a fair bit of play in a few decks. But yeah, so the big one is fucking all the quests are gone, huh? We don't have to nerf the rogue quest anymore. How good's this? It just leaves.
Druid quests on ladder. I'm gonna miss them.
So if we go through them, the Hunter quest, so Mage quest will go, which it's a bit late. Like they got rid of what that deck was.
It's a wild deck anyway.
Mage quest was already gone, right? In spirit.
Yeah.
Oh
so
no.
Relevant now. It's what, like, really just warrior.
No, no, Andrew. We've lost the last Kaleidosaur.
Oh,
no.
Garbodon. The last Kaleidosaur.
Alright, I'll pull one out. One sec. Hold on. Let me just, hold on. Alright, there we go. Pulled one out for him. Sorry, last Kaleidosaur. I'm so sorry. You deserve better than this.
The very last Kaleidosaur.
You know, I had a thing going that I crafted every Paladin Legendary in gold, and when that quest came out, I automatically crafted it because I saw how good the other quests were. So I crafted it in gold. Immediately, actually read it and went, the worst card I've ever seen in my life.
How dare you? How dare you? But so the priest quest is going, which thank the love of
Oh, actually, no, you're right. That is quite real.
That's so big.
Yeah. Oh, sail to back there twice. Oh, no, I'm a good player. Missing 8 chromosomes.
You're safe now. You have a safe place now.
Yeah, listen. The rogue one. Guys, we're also losing the shaman quest. What are we gonna do?
Oof. No shamans.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So
I
the
asked
quest
Tyz on stream. Excuse me. I asked Tyz on stream if he could make quest shaman great again, and his response was, because he actually answered it, and he said, "I can't make it great again if it was never great."
That's one of his, from memory, that's his most viewed video. Let me just check my
yeah, it is.
Let me just fact check
I did
myself.
appreciate when Shudderwock became like.
Tell you what, Hunter Quest was pretty dope.
Yeah, absolutely. I love seeing
some
Hunter
good
Quest stuff.
replays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, so from the top meta though, warrior and priest.
What the hell?
I think are the only two really relevant ones currently.
Can I just
historically mage obviously was
just
a thing, and rogue
a random fact.
Rogue was really good.
I think
That's
everything else has converted to being a wild deck anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not very like relevant. But oh my god, priest and warrior. God, am I so excited to never see them again in standard.
By the way, just
Especially-
just a random fact, guys. No, we are entirely wrong. Tyus's most of his video is him turn 2 getting flame imped voodoo doctor double flame imp voodoo doctor buff double fucking ghoul. That's his highest video apparently. Well, there you go. But yeah, so the quests are going is there's a it's super well, and I think actually the quest going is more quality of sanity than anything. None of these quests actually contributed to anything decent. So, like anything decent in terms of like you liking the game in any substantial way. So to go into the class cards, in Hunter we've got Crackling Razormaw and Terror Scale going, which are yeah. Wait,
both really good.
yeah.
What happened to the druid stuff? Did it move?
I don't know. Maybe I deleted it because I didn't want to look at it.
But you keep doing that, I'll look up the druid stuff.
Yeah, please look up the druid stuff because it's not here for whatever reason.
Anyway,
For Mage, Archaeologist, which what a fucking stupid 2-drop. Meteor, Primordial Glyph, and Molten Reflection. All of these cards I'm so happy to see go.
Primordial Glyph is like a big one. That's been pretty big in.
I'm so glad that's gone. See, Primordial Glyph, we'll touch on it later, but Primordial Glyph, I'm so glad it's gone for the same reason Shadow Visions is gone.
4
I
mana.
just hate things that cheat out of the, deck building side of things. Like, you're meant to have 2 of each at most, and then they're like, oh, no, I can run 4. Like, it's fine.
I can run 4 Psychic
Shadow
Screams.
Vision's obviously more annoying, but
Yes.
yeah, because it's tailored. You can at least get some. I mean, mage spells are just better than most other classes, though, because if this was a shaman card, which actually there is a shaman card, which is the same, and it's just like, give your totems +1/+1.
Ice fishing.
Murlocs. Whereas mage is like fireball, pyroblast, and meteor or something.
So just on the topic of druid before, so legit, there was actually no.
Oh, that's right. There were no good druid cards. Yeah, cool.
You could maybe throw a little shout out to Earthen Scales for the big druid for a little bit, but that's about it.
Fair enough.
Wow.
So legit, everything was terrible. Torrentus was good, but only off of free.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Meteor go because goddamn, Mage don't need every kind of removal. Like, let's not give them good spot removal and good wide removal. Can we just not do that? Like, just an idea. Let's just not give them every card in the game to be a shit cunt. Paladin is losing Lost in My Bungle, which is sad because all the 1/1s were cool. Spikeridge Steed, Tarim, and Vinecleaver. These are really relevant cards.
Damn, is Tarim just probably the most relevant in this entire set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Steed was amazing though too. I love Steed.
Yeah, in tandem with a few other cards that are rotating
Tarim's
out.
just in everything though. You're playing aggro, Tarim. You're playing control, Tarim. Midrange, why not? Everything. Just put it in.
You're playing Odd Pally, Tarim, because you find it off Lost in the Jungle. Don't you worry. You find it off Out of My Jungle. Don't worry.
Out of my jungle and into my hand.
Yeah, absolutely. You know every time easy. In terms of Priest, they are losing, and by the way, this is we'll see this now, but this is the start of Priest getting the most ridiculous cards every single set. Radiant Elemental, Shadow Visions, Curious Glimmerroot, Lyra, and Free from Ember.
Yeah.
All solid.
Radiant, so good. So good to see that go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Radiant plus Lyra in the same expansion. Like, come on. Well, that was never gonna go well.
Yeah.
Free from Ember, I'm happy to see go because just stupid card.
Like, Lyra does some stupid stuff at the moment, but Lyra was never more abused than it was in Machine Gun Priest, so I'm just going to put that out there. But it was definitely still very, very abusable at the moment.
Yeah, that's
Tell you what though, I actually have a soft spot for Radiant because when Priest summon a 5/5 out of their deck, you're crossing your fingers that it's Radiant. Like, please
Out
don't
of
be
everything.
Lich King.
Can we have
Please
a-
don't be Mali.
Can we have a shout out to the Evolution Shamans who RNG into Radiant every now and then?
Oh, yes, Dad. Yes.
For the unlimited unstable evolutions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
So Rogue doesn't actually lose that much. It's just Valspine Slayer, which is a good card, and Razor Petal Volley. So like, meh.
Yeah, we gave a shout out to Razor Petals. Not truly meta, but I mean it came into like the Malygos OTK builds and stuff like that. So it did make an impact, but just nothing like Valspine.
Yeah, Valspine was great removal.
Valspine will be missed.
So
Yeah.
Shaman lose Fireplume Harbinger, and Calamos, because those two can never be apart. Primal Fin Totem and Volcano. I'm not unhappy to see Volcano piss off. Like, that card's just
Volcano,
stupid.
I think, is by far the most relevant thing on that
Yeah.
list. But like, oh my
How
god,
dare
Volcano's
you?
so
How
good.
dare you underrate the unlimited value there?
You know
Primal
what,
Fin
Harbinger,
Totem is
though-
unlimited value.
In
It is
Elemental,
infinite value.
in Elemental, which is never like, there's always some variant of Elemental you can make. Like, let's just not play down that Harbinger is effectively fucking what's that 6-drop in Wild?
That drops everything by one.
Yeah.
It's criminal that we don't know this, by the
What's
way.
the-
Actually, it's not
Yeah.
criminal. I never played with it, so I don't feel bad for not knowing the
What's he
card.
called again? Floss? The one that's like by the power of Ragnaros.
By the
Oh, I don't
power
know.
of... Okay, you guys suck. By the...
Look, names of all the cards in Hearthstone is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got Ice Block and Ice Lance mixed up.
Okay,
like
it's called...
5 minutes ago.
It's called
Anyway.
Emperor Thorasand.
Oh yeah, that. Oh, yeah,
Thorus
Emperor
Lance.
Thorasian.
Oh,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so Warlock loses nothing really, because... Warlock
There's literally
is
nothing
shit.
relevant from.
Don't
fucking
worry,
Zero.
it'll come. Warrior lost Cornered Sentry and Direhorn Hatchling. Direhorn Hatchling is pretty relevant.
Yeah,
So was
that honestly
Sentry.
saved off fatigue a lot in greedy
absolutely.
Warrior.
So, we move on to Knights of the Frozen Throne.
Big one, the big boy.
Generics.
So, I think the most relevant. This first one we've got here
Oh, yeah?
has got to be the most relevant.
Well,
out of
hold on.
everything.
The
Out of everything.
the generic cards. We'll just go to the generic cards, and then because the Death Knights are class cards, so the generic
Ah, yeah,
cards
sure.
we've got like Prince Keleseth and Taldaram. Man, it's probably good that Keleseth is going. To be honest with you, let's
Yeah.
be real here. Snow Flipper Penguin, which is honest to God the biggest devastation. Put it in standard, Blizzard. Come on.
It's the best
Come on.
zero cost.
It's literally the best zero cost.
Oh, I don't know. I would say Tiny Finn is up there.
Floss. I would
no.
watch your mouth. I would watch your mouth. Alright.
Be nice, mate.
Yeah. Look,
nice that our penguin
Happy
is flooding
Ghoul
on.
is going, which is like fair. That card was pretty garbage.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Uh,
I don't want any variation of Happy Ghoul Zoo to remain.
No, that's fair. Drakari and Channa allowed some pretty garbage stuff with what's it
Yeah,
called?
Oakenheart and stuff.
Oakenheart, yeah. Corpse Takers being really good. Meat Wagon was great in a bunch of funny combos. Chain Gang, it was amazing, and then
Changing
kind
was
of got a
ridiculously
little bit
relevant
worse.
for so long. It only
yeah.
became irrelevant after the nerf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cobalt
like,
Scalebane, which
just
is like
defining.
yeah, absolutely. Cobalt Scalebane, Bone Drake, Skulking Geist, getting rid of those combo killers. Lich King and Bone Mare. Lich King and Bone Mare was super relevant, by the way. Like
Yeah, it was.
that card was
Imagine how
actually
good it
like-
was at 7 and then how shit it was at 8. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Lich
It's
King's
because
so
Rogues
nuts,
didn't
though.
play.
Like, Lich King is one of those cards that as soon as we saw it, there was no doubt that it was going to be defining until rotation. Like,
Yeah.
we all just went like, oh, so this is what the next, like,
Yeah,
2 years looks
and
like.
this
This
is
card is nuts.
I won't go into it about much, but like just by comparison, this is an example with rotation. This is why they had to rotate Rag out. Can you imagine if Lich King just never rotated? It would just be in every deck.
Yeah, it
forever.
was just that. Yeah. Like any control deck, because the thing is too is I won't get tired of knowing that they put down a Lich King and going, "You got the exact card you needed, didn't you?" The Destined Decay. Yep. Or like, oh, it's the Control Mirror. Of course, he got.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Well, by comparison, Rag was it was called Rag Roulette. That's
Yeah.
what everyone called it.
yeah.
Rag Roulette.
So
Anyway,
the
moving on.
biggest rotation, arguably, and I agree with you here. We lose the Death Knights.
Yep.
And I think with that, the fact that I never have to hear Jaina's voice line ever again makes me so happy to like the core of my being.
Well, I mean, if you stay away from Wild, that is.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, if I'm in Mage and Wild, I'm actually pretty far. Like I can pretty much like. There's no good Mage deck in Wild actually right now. So, So yeah. So we'll go through the classes. So Druid loses Malfurion. I feel like that's not the worst thing in the world, but it was definitely a auto pick.
Oh,
him.
it was like stapling almost
yeah, it was
every.
definitely
Druid
like a
deck.
staple, right?
Every Druid deck I can think of off the top of my head, he was stapling.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Except
it
Token?
it
No, he's
doesn't
in
lose
Token,
its
he's in
win
Token.
con. Even Token, yeah, it doesn't lose its win con, but. I mean, it's an irrelevant deck now anyway. But yeah.
Oh, it's just this consistency thing. Just like being able to hit for 3 was huge. Being able to get 3 arm was huge. Like you out armored a hunter hero power, or you hitting over for 3 was just massive. You hit harder than rogues, or you hit harder than mages, or anyone like that. For example,
Yeah, absolutely.
You hit harder than fucking hunter actually.
And you hit with Gonk.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it is a huge nerf to Gonk, actually. Like, not that Gonk should ever really be top meta, but...
It should be. It's funny.
That's a huge part.
So, then we go down, and we've got Priest, Shadow Reaper, Anduin. This is a bit
we
late.
haven't gone through No, you haven't gone through the Druid stuff. We just touched on the DK.
You missed.
Well, shut up! I'm talking about the Death Knights!
Oh, we're going through
You
Death
guys
Knights.
suck. I said that too.
You missed UI.
Okay.
No, just relax. Don't give out spoilers. So, Shadow Reaper, Anduin... This is a bit too late, right? Like, this card was good. It's still... I saw it used once or twice recently, but, you know. It's a bit too late.
It's also just a good battle cry for Priest.
Yeah.
Like, being able to just... Like, just as a battle cry, it's just pretty good.
Yeah. And there's
been better formats for it. It's not a good format for it, but...
Absolutely. Shaman, I'm really unfortunate.
In between, so
because it wasn't bolded. Yeah, Uther... has been a win con recently. It's just amazing heal. It's good pressure. So yeah, that does suck a little bit for the old control paladin and the OTK paladins and the heal paladins and the other people that should play different decks.
I liked Uther a lot, but I also didn't like the introduction of like an instant win condition.
Oh, but
I don't think
so
that
funny.
should really ever exist. In Hearthstone, I don't know. I don't think there's a place for it.
I preferred the RNG of having to get the right ones and slowly build it up.
Did you actually prefer that?
I prefer that to Quest Mage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who were dicks about it.
Who were dicks about it? It's all about the types of players that play the decks. So Shaman,
to be
very
fair,
unfortunately.
It feels less bad than like most combo decks ended up feeling.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's always the chance you roll the wrong one though as well. Like
my jaws that bite.
Except once they've eventually gotten back to hand. But even that can stuff up. Like I feel like there's that possibility where RNG can save you, whereas it's like, aha,
my claws.
Aha.
Yeah, that's fair. Shaman very unfortunately loses their best card in Thrall. So rest in peace. 5 mana, evolve 2 cards.
He lives on in Wild and in our hearts.
God. Warlock loses Gul'dan. So that's
loses the best Death Knight in the game. I would argue.
Oh wait, Mage isn't on this list. Where the fuck's Mage?
What are you talking about? Where's Garrosh?
Mage, we already talked about.
Where's Warrior? No, we didn't. It's not on the. It's not here. None of the Knights of the Frozen Throne cards have.
Talked about it in regards to other ones, but
but like the Knights of
was it the same thing where it was like just bad cards and
I'm not sure, but we're missing Warrior and we're missing Warrior and Mage. Fucking Jaina! Oh my lord! What a stupid card. Here's an idea. Let me hold on, guys. We're in a board meeting and I'm Ben Broads and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is not a good idea. And you're sitting there and you're like, you know what we need? You know what we need, guys? Guys, hear me out. You know what we need? We need to give the cuntiest deck a win con so that they can sit there and be pricks about everything and then play 1 card and win. Ugh. I hate that. What a stupid card. What a stupid card. Like...
Yeah. No. We did establish that there's literally nothing. Oh, sorry. The only good thing, it should be there. We wrote it down. Syndragosa was the only good mage card getting. Oh no, it's there. It's part of Druid. It's not. It's
part of Druid.
There we go.
It's also just the tiniest little category ever.
Yeah.
Mage.
Oh wait.
Syndragosa.
Hunter is also part of Druid here. So Rexar is a big one too. That hurts Hunter.
Yeah, Rexar's huge.
That hurts Hunter real bad. I
Hunter
think
completely changed this year to what we knew Hunter as. Like Hunter actually got like control decks, kind of.
Well, it was.
Just
I
because
think.
of Rexar.
Yeah, it was less
crazy.
control and more. I mean, maybe it was control. It was.
It's like mid-range that
It was
could
pretty
control
mid-range.
though.
Yeah, it was pretty mid-range.
It's also like Hunter's pretty much only AoE is actually going into Rexar.
Yeah, that's true too. Other than Bloatbat, which is also rotating out if anybody cares.
Yeah.
Not that you can get it anymore because Rexar's gone. But yeah, this is funny too because now Hunter really has to go back to roots and just be pure face because this deck probably won't survive with just like the spell hunters and stuff. Probably won't survive with just Zul'jin.
Yeah.
It runs out of steam so easily, and control unless control really dies off as of this rotation, it can't deal with control. It like Zul'jin's a good board, but
Well, a lot of
other than
control
that,
is gone. Like,
yeah, a lot
unless
of
we get
control is
stuff to
gone.
replace
So
it.
we might see some spell hunter being on the rise here. It does also lose Rockadala as well later on, so we'll see.
I don't know though, because recently we've had some pretty decent like the low drop hunter. I mean, I don't
Beast
think I've
Hunter.
ever seen any good players playing it because
Tyus
people
played
just
it.
seem
How
to
dare
put
you?
down seem to put down
Don't talk
Hyena
shit.
like turn 2.
Oh yeah,
But-
this is true. No,
But like I actually think there's a basis there for a good deck with the lynxes and stuff and the
Yeah.
what's it called? Draw 3 beasts from your deck.
Master's
I think
Call.
that could be some really decent face hunter.
Yeah,
coming back.
Tyus made a great face hunter deck. It did just include Rexar at the end, just to be that person. But I think I agree.
So going on to the specific cards, we've got
Going
Druid.
on to the specific cards, Druid. This is the start of Druid getting the worst cards in the game to ever exist.
Yeah, so we lose Spreading Plague.
Good.
That's just massive.
Leave
Just
and never
absolutely
come
massive.
back and never
I'm
come
happy
back.
to never see it again.
Can anyone spot the odd paladin plays in this?
I hate you. I hate it. I hate it. You know what it is? Here's the idea. Let's punish people for having any low statted minion on the board on turn 6. There's a good idea.
In theory, it takes until turn 6 that I could use it.
What?
But in reality, I usually ramp.
Yeah. That's the thing
yeah.
too, right? Yeah, and then yes, you talk about ramping as well. That's a really good
I mean,
point too.
Yeah, I mean they made certain counters to it, which was like later on they made the Mossy Horror, and then there was also like just not going wide, and like you look at Spreading Plague, you verse anyone who's dropping anything big, and then you look at Spreading Plague and you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's cool. You just play your now
issue, though, is,
rotated
like-
naturalize. What's up?
Yeah, no, my issue though is like Druid had a contingency for everything. Like you couldn't just play Tool to play around Spreading Plague because they had Spellstone, they had Naturalized for spot removal anyway.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like no matter what strategy you went for, it was lose-lose.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, and that's why we saw such a dominance for so long with like there was like a time where we had like 5 successful Druid variants. in the meta,
Yep. 5 different wing, and then Toast's quadruple win combo.
which were all like less than 4 cards apart or something.
Yeah. Hydronox is worth a good mention here because Taunt Druid was
Yep, that was one
an
of them.
absolute monster.
Once we got Witchwood and we got the mid Witching Hour,
Yeah.
that became ridiculous.
That was pretty disgusting. And damn, Ultimate Infestation, huh? What a card.
That's between that and Spreading Plague, like they're both huge losses. Like UI is probably the biggest one just because like it's such a swing card.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
though, because UI is like the ultimate study of how good can you make a class that 10 mana, draw 5, summon a 5/5, gain 5 armor
deal 5 damage.
is like
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's,
like
Somehow
it's
it
almost
just
the only
became
class
not
that would be
great.
good in though as well too. Like just because of the ramp, the empty. It's the only reason. Like it's one of the only reasons you can ever justify ramping to an extent as well. Like I feel like you could just put your nourish into mana and all the rest because you're like it's fine because I'm about to replenish my hand, etc. With UI, which I'm going to get to quicker. So without
Yes.
UI, I feel like there's maybe not quite the same risk and return or factor or value from ramping as much.
Yeah.
But I
Look,
guess we'll see.
you know a card's good when you play 2 of it, not to use it twice, but just to see it once.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so go
oh
down.
my god, do you remember J Druid was around at the same time as UI, right? They played it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god. Hey, let me never fatigue, but also be able to play UI.
So for Hunter, we don't lose too much stuff other than Rexar. We lose Playdead, which has been good in Rattle Hunter and stuff like that. Venom Strike, which was always used in Spell Hunter, and Bear Sharkarino. Just a solid minion, so not too many losses other than Rexar. Mage lose Syndragosa, which was Playdead was really good, especially for cube plays.
Yeah, we're losing both the trigger, like Death Rattle triggers, and the best Death Rattle for Hunter, so that entire deck is just not going to be a thing anymore.
Yeah, this is true. So Syndragosa goes for Mage, really good value card. Other than that, Paladin...
once again, Cindy was like one of those things where it was shit until we got Jaina.
Yeah, it's almost like they came out.
Sorry, I mean they came out in the same set. Yeah, but I mean, like, I should reword that. My mistake.
Yeah.
It's shit outside.
No. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I see your point. Absolutely. Paladin loses Righteous Protector, which that card was good. God, what a one drop.
What a
one drop.
Yeah, like let's take that standard card. Let's just slap Taunt on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the thing is, now. Again, we're going to see the common thing of Priest just getting the stupidest cards. So Priest are losing Shadow Ascendant, Spirit Lash, Eternal Servitude, Shadow Essence, Benedictus, and Obby Statue. What are these cards? Why did they come out in the same set? What is this?
Priest got put on crack in this set. It was fucking...
God, and they got Anduin. Like, Spirit Lash with any buff was... even without a buff, was so much life. Eternal Servitude is so dumb and has been so dumb. Again, we spoke about the
Obsidian Statue and Eternal Servitude just as like a combo of this is a deck, take it.
Yeah.
They basically gave them those two cards and went like, hey, make a deck out of this.
Shadow Essence was part of that as well. So Shadow Essence, the 5/5 of it out first.
Yep.
Then let it die, and then Servitude it back.
It's like,
look, Kobolds gave everything for Q-Block to Warlock. That's like, this is one of those little situations.
Yeah, where it just gave everything to... it goes, look here, do this, and do this again. Like, and just this one play, but do it. Rogue lost Doomerang, which was a huge thing when the old Kingsbane dickhead Rogue was out. That's the official name for the deck. Don't Google it. Shaman lost literally nothing because Shaman.
It was a terrible set for Shaman.
Yeah.
It was a sad day to be a Shaman player.
Warlock got a few good things. It got Defile, which, geez, what a card. Like,
that
was the major
geez, what a card. I've never seen a card clear multiple boards at once, especially when Hydronox was involved. Like,
it's just on paper, it's okay, this is situational. How is it never situational? This card is literally never situational.
It's only not situational against Murloc Pally when all of the Murlocs have like 3 or 4 health at once, and that's it. Like, even then, it's okay because you got Hellfire. Warrior.
I was just so like manipulative or manipulatable, I think is the word. Like, just because you can interact it with your own cards as well, not just your opponents.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be so much worse if it was just your opponents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Warrior lose Brigadon, Deadman's Hand, Bloodrazor, and Rotface. Rotface is a sad meme going, which is kind of sad. A Deadman's Hand.
This was a deck for a while, like Deadman's Hand, Bring It On Warrior.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kinda.
Which, you know, it was.
I haven't seen play in a while,
huge
but
dickhead
it had a spot in the limelight.
So I think too, this Bloodrazor was such a good weapon. Like,
yeah, it still is. Yeah. Bloodrazor is their biggest loss for sure.
Yeah. So with that done, you know, we've seen some pretty stupid stuff. Now let's just look at this absolutely stupid set. So
you can say that about everything.
No. Listen, there was some good stuff.
Now let's look at this stupid thing.
Yeah,
let's look at this even stupider thing.
Look,
by stupid, most of it's like stupidly good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with Kobolds, the generic cards before we move on to the class specific cards all round were Diamol, Plated Beetle, two really just good low drops. Zola, which was never used for anything conducive to a fun game ever. Arcane Tyrant, Cube, and Boy Cube. Fungomancer, the creeper that goes deeper, that got nerfed so quickly. Spiteful Summoner, Grand Archivist, Tog Woggle. I am literally the worst player in existence. And Dragon Hatcher, Okart, Sleepy Dragon, Combo, Wombo, Bombo. This
I
is some
can't even pick
good-
a worst on this list, and one of them got nerfed.
Yeah, one of them. There's one,
Wait.
two.
Spiteful did, Corridor
Cor-
did.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
I think that's it
this.
from this list.
Okay, do you actually? We can go through this deck. Do you know how many cards in this set got nerfed? Because there's like 8 Warlock cards also in this set that got nerfed too. Like this is awful. Let me just double check. Did To My Side get nerfed? No, it was the big one that got nerfed. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. So Level Up got nerfed. Call to Arms got nerfed. Where are we?
Dark Pack got nerfed.
Dark Pack got nerfed.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about how many cards got nerfed.
Yeah, like
before.
this set was so stupid.
So broke
Oh
back.
wait, yeah.
The Spellstone as
Spellstone
well.
got nerfed. Yeah, like come on,
Wait,
on.
who's Spellstone got nerfed again?
Hunter.
Hunter.
Oh right, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so recently.
What a
though. Yeah,
stupid
that's-
set. All right, so they're good, really good. Really good generic cards. Q was just super relevant. Arcane Tyrant was great in Druid. Zola was just a prick of a card, no matter where you went. Creeper may be the most underrated cards of all time. Like, how did nobody look at that card and think it was as stupid as it was?
Yeah, I mean, it got a lot of publicity very quickly before the nerf. Even like most of the pros and everyone was saying it's so fucked up.
Well, yeah,
It's like,
but like,
that's all that mirror was like who opened the creeper.
The thing was,
'cause
too, is
dropping
that-
it as the 5/5 was just redonk.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing was too though, nobody picked this card up before the set came out. Everyone was like, nah, whatever. Everyone.
No, I know. It was such a weird situation where I think similar to Defile, it looks situational, doesn't look like anything, and then you actually play and you're like,
This is actually the
okay,
best card in my
one trade
deck.
makes
yeah.
this too cheaper. Like this
Um,
is stupid.
So, moving on to the class
So
specific
on top of
cards,
that, I guess-
we lose
yeah.
all the spellstones.
That's
Good.
big. That's huge.
Good, because
Yeah.
the first spellstone that comes into my mind is res a bunch of your big things because fuck you. That's
I
it,
just-
right?
Actually,
Like-
Priest
Yeah.
Priest had the most expensive spellstone, if I recall.
oh, what a
7 mana.
shame! What a shame!
But also one of the easiest to upgrade, so
yeah,
Yeah.
this is true. This is true.
So for me, like that definitely is like a big thing. But also like in my own, I'm always thinking of the Jasper one, the Druid one as well. Just like the quick, easy
such a
one
good,
mana
such a good
removal.
spellstone.
one mana as well. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
So to lose
just
that and
stupid.
naturalize in one thing
Yeah.
is like fucking massive.
So Rogue, do you remember that Rogue had a spellstone? Because I didn't.
Oh, it was like destroy an enemy minion.
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
play 3 death rattles to upgrade it.
It's just it makes no sense.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, Mage's one saw next for no play as well.
Wait. Don't tell me. I'm gonna try and guess what Major Spellstone was.
Oh, you never looked at it?
I actually can't remember it. Was it? No, it wasn't the summon random minions. That was way later. Oh wait, no, it's add random mage cards to your hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's triggered by
Hey.
summoning elementals.
Oh wow.
Blake closes his Google page.
Shut up. Okay, shut up. It's not. I hate mage. I don't want to look at mage ever again. The paladin one, which I actually do remember, was also kind of bad. The shaman one was
yeah.
fun in. It was pretty fun in Overload Shaman, but
Yeah, the
Warlock
Overload
loses more heal, huh?
Warlock one was really good.
Yeah,
Really.
Warlock
Yeah,
was
Warlock
great.
one was excellent.
It always upgraded after you played Librarian, which was hilarious.
Yeah, and I just like that card just it fixed so many issues
Warlock
with
loses
Warlock
so much
getting
heal.
you to Gul'dan. Like it bridges you getting to Gul'dan so
Yeah.
well.
Absolutely.
To lose Gul'dan and that in one hit as well too, like Warlock's losing a lot of self heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was its main problem. It seemed like.
Like he just like taps so freely,
Hey,
mean,
what was
and
Warriors?
then now
one?
I don't know. We'll need other stuff. We'll need a new Reno.
Yeah, this is true. What was Warriors spellstone? I have no idea.
It was like
Everyone goes
was there
silent.
something to do
Fuck,
with
what was it?
heal?
Everyone
can't
goes
remember.
silent. I'll look it up.
I can't remember.
Warrior spellstone Hearthstone.
Let's take a look. It
Oh, wait, a
was
7
someone at
mana,
5/5
Someone
golem.
at 5/5
Yeah.
gold. Equip a weapon to upgrade. So that would Priest did not get the most expensive spellstone. We just forgot.
No, it's tied with Warrior. Yeah,
Summon
they're both
3.
7. Oh, and the Shaman's a 7 as well.
Yeah. Oh, we suck.
There's
Just
a lot of
ignore
them
us.
at
So yeah, that's pretty nuts. Also the legendary weapons go, which wasn't too relevant, but you know, Druid still plays theirs, Hunter still plays theirs occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, you forget that Mage actually played theirs
Aluneth,
quite a lot.
yeah, was
at one
nuts
point.
in burn your
Yeah.
face Mage. Again, can we just point out something? Can this be the title of the podcast? Mage has never had a good deck. They're all absolute bastard decks. Like that from start to finish, from Freeze Mage to whatever the hell Mage is right
Feels
now.
very opinion based.
No, listen. I'm standing up. Hold on, I'm standing up. Mage, here's an idea. Let's not have any interaction in a game where two people play.
Hey guys, welcome to our set analysis. Mage, let's ban it. Okay. What?
like,
I agree with that.
No, like, Mage has never had a deck where it's like, look, there's Spellstone's Elemental Mage. Because why? Because the devs want you to play Elemental Mage. No one's playing Elemental Mage. It's all Fireball. Oh, here's my Ice Block, and then I got infinite combo you to death. Or, here's my, I just draw 3 cards every turn and just Frostbolt and Firebolt you in the face until you're
Look,
dead.
this can be
It's
a
the
separate
worst.
video.
You suck.
the next
If you play
class?
Mage, feel bad about yourself, feel bad about your life, uninstall the game, and don't talk. I'm done. I hate Mage. All right.
Mage broken.
All right.
So in the weapons, just in a quick short summary, we've got Twig for Druids, which was fantastic. Rockdalar for Hunters, which was broken
Very
in
good.
spell.
Very good. Very good.
Was in fact only good in spell.
Especially when you get
broken,
like 3 kill commands.
Alaneth, yeah, which is card of demise basically. Valnir didn't really see much play with Pally.
It saw a
So,
bit in
it's alright.
control actually in the
Yeah.
old Even Pally, which had a really high.
So
win rate.
Priest, which got
I
so many
like that
broken
card.
cards, they did get the worst.
Congratulations, they got
Dragon
one bad
Soul.
card.
Weapon was horrific.
Yeah, that
We
was.
had Kingsbane, which
Wow!
made me
What a
wanna suicide a little
yeah.
bit
I was gonna say what a absolute like suicidal card that was.
How
then
did I
right up
forget
there
about Kingsbane?
with right up there with Dragon Soul. was
It's
the
called
Rune Spear
suppressed.
with Shaman.
Is suppressed memory, Floss.
The
You were,
Rune Spear.
you were hurt. Yeah, the Rune Spear. Yeah,
Okay,
the Rune
so
Spear.
arguably one of the best ones. Like obviously there's lots of them that were the best ones, but then Skull the Minari.
No,
with Warlock,
I would
like,
say Skull the
very,
Minari
very
is probably the most relevant.
probably the most impactful.
Yeah.
Kingsbane, I would say maybe tied, but like for
Yeah,
short,
I could see that.
short time. Like, do you remember you just couldn't enter like ladder without playing against Cubert?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there was a time when that was legitimately a thing.
Do you
But
remember
it's
the
like
t-
control lock and heaps of almost every lock variant except Zoo has run the Skull. Like
Absolutely.
as soon as you're running big demons, you run it, right?
Do you guys remember the Hearthstone devs talking about Cube Lock when it was in the first like few weeks? They said, okay, we understand that this is a deck, but it doesn't have the highest win rate. So, and then like a week later, they came out and said, okay, guys, so you know the way we're gonna nerf our cards is we're not looking at just highest win rate. We're looking at decks and how fun they are to play against, and then they nerf the shit out of Warlock. I was like, yeah, there you go. Listen, I don't give a fuck if it's got the highest win rate. You see what that deck does? It's like, okay.
Lastly on the weapons, though, we had Woe Cleaver with Warriors, which was
That was
like
a
kind
lot
of
of
cool.
fun.
Like,
A lot of fun.
I liked watching videos where pros played with it, but like even they said it was
Summon
more gimmicky
huge
than,
things and
it's
summon
fairly
rot face.
consistent.
So Druid, for Druid, the cards that are going, some really good cards that were played a lot. Branching Paths, which is actually the stupidest card I've seen
That's huge loss. Yeah.
in terms of draw and armor power in
This
ages.
is loss.
Ironwood Golem and Oaken Summon, obviously together
Yeah,
because
they wouldn't turn in hand.
Yeah,
they
that
were like
was-
built for each other.
Yeah.
Those cards.
that was always going to go in.
Yeah,
Ixlid,
kind of
which
made Taunt a thing
Yeah.
solely because it gave them a
made
good
they
early
had
game.
early game.
It made them have the good early game.
Yeah, have good
There you
early
go.
game they
Some
had.
armor.
Gain armor. Oh, of course I had to gain armor too. Like, fuck off. That's so, like, oh, whatever. Ixlid, which did see some play and had some nutty plays. You know, it was always fun to evolve into as well.
It went nuts when it went nuts, but it didn't see too much rep.
Yeah, that's fair. So in terms of Hunter's losing a few things, actually. Candle Shot, which is such a good weapon. Wandering Monster, Flanking Strike to my side, and Katarina.
Man, Wandering Monster, I just think
Yeah.
is
I think that's the
so
biggest
good.
loss. I think that's the
Yeah,
biggest loss,
like-
actually.
I understand now why they were like, yeah, we've wanted to make Wandering Monster a card for so long. Like, you know, when the set promo was out,
Yeah.
they were like, this is the first card we designed because we had it for ages. I'm like, I'm not surprised you waited because it's so good. Like,
Yeah.
it's just such a good
And it
card.
only cheats 1 mana. technically, in its best case scenario, and it's still so good.
There's one of those ones where
unless
you get a good
the
one.
3/6 that discards cards, which happens.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's the
constantly
turtle.
during that
The turtle
format.
was the other
Oh,
one.
the
It's
turtle.
Is
Ooh.
it 2/5 or 3/5?
Yeah, it's like 2/5. I think it's 3/5 actually.
Battle cry, deal damage to your hero, but obviously it doesn't battle cry.
Yep.
Oh no,
Easy.
I was talking about the 3/6 warlock card that discards when it takes damage.
Oh,
I have
how?
as many
Oh
games.
yeah, the curry, the
Howl Fiend?
Howl Fiend.
Yeah, I
good
have
stuff.
as many games.
Well, other than that,
What else? You get?
so well, to my side was great in Spell Hunter. Flanking Strike was amazing, and Katharina was great in Death Rattle Hunter. So yeah, it's pretty relevant. Mage. Let me look at the crap and uninteractive cards in this lineup. Arcane Artificer. Oh, you need to gain armor as well as life later on. There you go. Raven Familiar. Let's just add the big cards to my hand so I can use them like a dickhead. Explosive Roots. Let's burn their face for more. Just like, let's not put down any. Okay, no worries. Dragon's fucking Fury. Let's do 7 damage on turn 4. How about that? Let me coin this and kill any board you ever had, so I can perfectly ramp into Blizzard, and then into Flame Strike, and then into Jaina. Oh, what a beautiful curve that is. And then Dragon Caller Elena, because obviously when you play your cunt cards that cost like 8 mana, you want to also fill your board to kill them. No worries. Oh, I hate
just
it.
Appreciate that short time where Arcane Artificer existed when Ice Block hadn't rotated yet.
Oh, don't talk
Oh,
to
that
me.
was the worst thing
Don't
ever.
talk to me. That was
Sucks so
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Out of all those cards, like there's plenty of ones I don't like there, but for me, the personal one I'm so glad is going to be going. It's just got to be runes. Like playing into like turn 3, 4/3 bitch tips into free runes was like.
Yep.
Yeah,
cool.
I
Let me
would
take.
actually say the Dragon's Fury is my most hated. Just
I was just saying it like before. I
AoE that
actually
early,
Nah, shut the fuck up,
Like-
Andrew. You're shit.
like an AoE that early, especially against aggro, like that's nuts. Being able to wait out, like you can coin it turn 4, and you're set for Blizzard.
We
you're
literally
set
said the
until
same
you
thing,
can
by the
Flame
way.
Strike. You can you just have that time that Mage actually had to strategically play before. Whereas, like when you have a mindless AoE, just at
I
hand
suppose
whenever,
I suppose
and
that's
it can
true.
go
like,
up to like 7. Like what
Who
the
needs to
hell?
play a
Like, you
7
don't even have
cost
to
Flame
worry about a
Strike?
5/5 creeper.
Yeah.
So
Come
my
on.
argument against it was like it limited your deck building to an extent. Like it's so good in big spell mage, but it meant like nothing smaller was playable, and it
Really?
even made
You mean
polymorph
mage
sometimes,
being
like not.
The devs
Not
telling
really.
Mage to play big crappy cards. Who would have guessed? Yeah, that's fair.
So even like
I get why
Fireball
you
and stuff
hate
like that
runes,
is
though.
stopped playing. So they actually reduce smoke by running it. But yeah, I agree. They have a bit too much.
Yeah, and when you
Yeah,
have
no,
Jaina up
it's
there,
like-
when you have Jaina up there as a wing con, it's like, well,
I get the runes though, because there are some interactions with divine shields in Hearthstone that annoy me, and like if you put down a divine shield, you take a fireball to face. It's like, should this really be the way this
Yeah.
Divine Shield's interesting in that direction because me and Blake saw it, tested it the other day. So if you weren't familiar with it, Floss, how it works is that it still takes the health into consideration, just doesn't take it away.
yeah.
So if you drop a 1/1 Divine Shield into
Oh, okay.
runes, you'll actually take 5 damage to face, even though the
Yeah.
minion doesn't die.
It's really
Um,
just.
It's just
Yeah.
a bit annoying.
But I did it the other day with Linessa and made her like a, I don't know, it was something stupid, like a 5/13 or something with Divine Shield. And then, no, she was perfectly a 5/6. It was, she had 6 health. And then it was just took nothing to face. And she took nothing because she ate it with Divine Shield.
It was very strange.
Yeah,
But so
fair.
Paladin lose a fair few things. Potion of Heroism, which was great in Control. Call to Arms,
card.
which, man, what a card. Unidentified Maul,
Boy.
Level Up, damn, what a card. And Linessa, which is great in Control too. Yeah, what a set for Paladin, huh? They haven't had a good set in a while.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that 2 out of those 5 cards were nerfed
Yep. Yeah, listen, they made some.
and still see play?
Yeah, they
But I
made
said
some
no, level up,
nutty
sorry.
cards.
Also, can I just say, this seems like this set I feel was the start of them making Evolve Shaman so terrible.
Yeah.
Because they just started releasing these like 1-drop 7/7s and things almost deliberately. And I can specifically remember during this format going, I don't think I can play Evolve Shaman anymore because I keep evolving into 1/1s.
Yeah, absolutely. So Priest lose again, some stupid shit because that's where we are with Priest. Gilded Gargoyle, which didn't become relevant till later on. Twilight Acolyte, which was amazing. Twilight's Call, which was made quest stupid. Dustbreaker, which is one of the best AoEs at its cost. Plus it's a body. Spellstone, which we've talked about, and Psychic Goddamn Scream. Let's have no interaction at all and just fuck everything off. How about that? God damn.
Yeah,
and put garbage in your opponent's deck.
For me, like, I suppose I might put this comment on some things every now and then, but I'm just going to say it again. So for me, like, it's 100%, it's got to be the Spellstone. Like, that made me be like, I'm glad this is going.
Yeah.
Everything else, yeah, it's hit and miss, but, like, the Spellstone is like...
never missed, huh? You got a boyfriend, just kiss ya. Brag, edit that over so it makes me look cool. Alright, thanks.
I think Psychic Scream is nuts. Like, especially considering they were like, let's make Spell Hunter a thing, but let's also give Mage a cut. They made Odd and Even a thing, and they made Spell Hunter a thing, but they also gave Priest Psychic Scream to turn off all those mechanics.
Yep.
Like,
I never really thought about it like that. I've never seen that interaction really stymie him, but...
let me tell you.
I played Shaman. The amount of times my eels were just irrelevant. The amount of times Prince, I drew Prince and was like, this is so...
Yeah, also 10 out of 10.
Or
playing Spell Hunter and any fucking minion.
See, the biggest thing
awful.
I've seen with Scream, I reckon, like, for me personally, some of the worst times it's ever been used against me is when I've, like, built a big wall with, like, Spreading Plague, for example, and then you get a shitload of 1/5s in your deck, and you're like, cool. I also like drawing into a 2-mana 1/5.
I get that it stays off fatigue, which is the only thing I don't mind about it. But also, like, man, it got so mindless. Like, the amount of games I've had to play where I've played through a minimum of 4 Psychic Screams is just ridiculously good.
Who
just
needs
because the AoE is
a
so
deck
good.
limit
Cover
anyway?
it. There it is. I'll grab that one. Shadow Visions, find it again. Like, I don't know.
TY. So Rogue, losing Shiny Finder, Sonya, Elven Minstrel, Strider, and Kobold Illusionist. These are really solid cards. Nothing like crazy here, but really, really solid cards. Sonya broke fucking Quest Rogue.
Minstrel's a big loss. Like,
Minstrel's
that's a huge part of a lot of the decks, just to keep the draws up and combos. But the Felderai Strider as well. Like, the amount of times they'd ride on the back of Spoders. All the
Spooters.
Sonya, I think
they have 18 cards and they get all 3.
That's so big.
Sonya broke back when Quest was relevant.
Yeah, that completed your quest like easy peasy.
Oh, even just after the quest as well, that was just busted. Charge your boar into someone, then get a 1/1 copy. But hey, it becomes 4/4.
And then it made later quests Rogue even stupider, and it became difficult lemon difficult, which kind of sucked. So, and then it got nerfed again. Shaman lose Unstable Evolution, which sucks because that's a funny card, especially with Kragwa. Crushing Hand, which is great off Hagathar. Murmuring Elemental, Healing Rain, and Grumble. Man, Grumble.
Healing Rain was so big. Like, I know that obviously Shudder started here, basically, but Healing Rain kind of made Shudder able to live long enough to do its thing.
And I attribute this similar to what Warlock was with the Frozen Throne stuff. I just feel like just so much of the survivability is going to be lost in this next pack, so it'd be interesting to see where a lot of these decks go.
Yep.
Speaking of which, moving on to Warlock.
Nowhere, because every deck is going to get rotated. So Warlock. Yeah, it didn't get much in this set. Anyway, so let's talk about the 3 card. No, Jesus fucking Christ almighty. What a set for Warlock. You know what they went? Floss, do you remember just before this set came out and you were playing, like, Warlock and you were like, hey, this is kind of fun and it's pretty good and you were kind of doing all...
It was
and then
bad,
they
though.
literally broke it.
I had to try. And I was like, Gul'dan's pretty good. I'm only rezzing this terrible garbage, like Despicable Dreadlord and stuff. You know, it's not great, but it's fun. And then this came out, and I was like,
So,
okay.
pre-nerf, right? We got Dark Pact, Librarian, Homunculus, Cataclysm, Hooked Reaver, Possessed Lackey, which, by the way, we didn't count towards the nerfed category. Rin, and Void Lord. So, not only did this deck get a good heal in Dark Pact, not only did it get a good 1-drop in Librarian that upgraded the Spellstone, not only did it get a card which under 15 mana was actually a 4-cost 7/7 that didn't overload you, not only can they mana cheat like a motherfucker because of Possessed Lackey, not only do they have a win con in Rin, they had a 9-cost 3/9 that they could summon back off Gul'dan that was the wall around Mexico itself. Like,
well, it's 9 cost 6/18.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, take away is literally 10 Warlock cards from, 10 cards per class for the set. All 10 cards for Warlock were great in this set.
Yep.
Cataclysm was more specific to certain deck types, of course. Like, that's probably the weakest link out of the lot. But obviously later on with Mechathune and stuff down the track, it became more relevant. But otherwise, like, the other 9 were all generically amazing.
Even in like the generic cards, Cube is there. Like, it's just for Warlock. It was like dream set for Warlock. It gave them an entire pack of cards to use. It just went from like 0 to hero so quickly. That's stupid class.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From what I can see, there are 7 cards that were nerfed from this set. For people who who maybe haven't watched or haven't played that much Hearthstone, when nerfs come out, there aren't many of them, and it's really irregular. Like, we get like 3 nerfs a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Hall of Fame is like maxes out at the amount we've had this year, which is like 9 or something.
Yeah.
So to have 7 nerfs,
7 nerfs
alone
in one
in one
goddamn set. And I think are we missing anything? Are there any legendary weapons that got nerfed? No. Spellstones. It was just Hunter, right?
So with the weapons, I mean, it was indirectly Kingsbane. That's about it.
Oh, yeah.
But not directly.
But yeah. So what a set. So with
Did
that,
we count Flurry got nerfed, right? It got fixed.
Which one?
Reckless Flurry? Didn't that one get fixed? The one that used to heal?
Oh, right. They stopped the interaction with
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Man, this set.
So Warrior got Dry Whisker, Reckless Flurry, and Yip. Sure, Yip was fun for memes, but that's about it. So, well, at the end of all that, essentially no cards exist in Hearthstone anymore. With odd and even gone, man. I guess it's for the next year of cards, but after all of this stuff left, was on it even going to be good? Just in a nutshell, like in a vacuum.
Probably.
Like they were going to be all that was left, right? It was just going to be you had to play an odd
things
deck.
like just paladins, like odd paladins, hero power. It's just like always oppressive to be able to like 2 mana summon 2 1/1s and just do that every turn. Like something about that is just oppressive.
Yep. I think so. We'll without chatting about too much. If you want to have a scroll through, guys, I think I have mine, probably, but I would love you guys to come up with 3 cards you'll miss and why. It can be brief, it can be not so brief, but that's okay. If you want me to go first, so you guys have time to scroll through and have a look, I can.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so the number 1 on my list, without thinking about it too much, is definitely Fletchling. That card won me so many games because the first thing you would get was either +3 health or can't be targeted, and then from there it was downhill for them. Especially against control decks that had not much spot removal. It was just so good and super fun. Second on my list, was it'll probably be Rexar, I think. Rexar for me, because I love playing Hunter, was just a way of going, okay, I'm now versing a control deck. I can make some really cool, and it was so cool, and it was such a cool hero to use, and it was so fun to use. Making beasts a lot of the time that did just crazy shit. Like, Andrew and I were spectating a friend of mine who had played for the first time. Shout out Loz. He was playing he played before and was getting back into the game, and he literally playing face Beast Hunter, went into Fatigue and beat Warrior, Control Warrior in Fatigue because of Rexar. Like, it was so good, and it's so funny. And then for the third one, I'll probably... It'll probably be... Look, I don't want it. It'll probably be Unstable Evolution. I surprisingly enough, like, I love that card, and I love playing that card, and I love seeing that card because I like random evolves. But also, going that into Kragwa was just so funny and so cool and such good value, and it helped you in the control matches. And yeah, I think that was really cool. So yeah, they're probably my three. I can't. There's other cards here that I think are super relevant, but other than that, I think.
Do you know what we missed out on that I've got in the list? Just putting it out there, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be one of my cards here. I'm just going to check that I. Oh no, we did do it. Okay.
So do you want to go? Prince. Yeah, go for it.
I can definitely touch on one. So for me, one of the ones I'll miss the most probably, and I've been playing it a fair bit now, is Spiteful Summoner. I've always enjoyed that card. I reckon it's fun because sometimes it doesn't work out the best. Sometimes it's good.
Yeah, we really brushed over that, but that was like a big old deal.
It was a huge deal.
Yeah. So Spiteful Summoner was very, very good.
Love the RNG.
I just enjoyed that. I just like, it didn't always work out. Sometimes you see your spells like before that, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But then there's sometimes really big payoffs. Sometimes they're okay.
You get that Tarantus against any deck, and you're like, whoopa.
Yeah. Another one I'll miss a lot is Cobalt Scalebane. Like, I just always like the dragon stuff sometimes.
That's cool.
It's just one of those cards that seems balanced. It can get out of hand when it's not answered, but it's otherwise alright.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's another one I miss? And probably just, I don't know, just because I've played it so much, probably just like Malfurion, the Pestilent.
Yeah, good hero, good memories.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Jade Druid.
Floss,
Bring back Jade standard.
Bring back the JD bunch.
Okay, I've only got my biggest losses top 3.
The
like I don't think I've got my favorites. Like my favorites or my won't misses yet. I've only got biggest losses, like in general.
Okay, so do you wanna have a quick scroll through then?
Okay. Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Okay, well, I mean, we can move on and then come back if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right, so here. All right, hold on one sec. I'm just gonna stand up. All right, let me just bring my mic up here. All right, so the cards I won't miss.
Do you just copy and paste the mage stuff? Or?
Hold on, Andrew, come on, buddy. What do you take me for here?
I'm not saying I disagree.
No, Andrew, listen. Let me run you through these 3 cards. Ready? We're gonna start with fucking Jaina. Okay, Jaina is the worst card to ever exist in this game, and I wish that whoever designed that card is either not working for them anymore or never mind. I'm not going to continue this sentence. The second card. Arcane Artificer. Surprisingly enough, another mage card. Because you know what's awesome? You know what's great about them not drawing Jaina yet? You go, I might actually get there. I might do enough damage. I might play through 18 board clears and some stupid amount of bullshit in between, plus a hero power that just pings anything at once. I might play through it. And then they go, Arcane Artificer, Blizzard, your shit's frozen. I gain 6 armor. I wish you were dead. My third card.
So, did you ever see where people would do that? Like, literally, they'd drop, like, you'd have, like, a clear board. They'd still go Artificer, Flame Strike.
Yep. Absolutely. My third card, let me just double check that I'm not missing something that did we didn't go over mage cards in oh no, we did. That was what a stupid set. So that one was only Syndragosa. I'm only looking at the mage ones, to be honest with you guys. Meteor, Glyph. No, Molten Reflection, Glyph, Meteor. Sure, Meteor. Let's give... I mean, I'm not going to say Meteor. I will say Dragon's Fury, because let's just do 7 damage to the whole board on turn 4, because that's not mana cheating, and that's not bullshit, and that's not contributing to a anti-fun, anti-interactive gameplay. Wow, what a well-designed card. I wish you were dead. All right, thank you, guys. Good night. I'm done.
Fair enough. I think
You good, Floss?
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm like mage.
Man, picking favorites is so hard though.
Yeah. If you
I
have
don't
any
wanna
mage
just
cards
pick
on here,
my
I will
favorite
absolutely break
classes,
up with you on the
really.
spot. I need you to know this.
Wait, what was that?
Nothing. Don't
If
worry.
I
Keep
pick any
going.
mage cards.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just proceed.
All right. Okay. My favorite, I think so far, I'm struggling because Rattle Hunter is a deck that's going, and I like so many cards in Rattle Hunter that I think picking is impossible. Can I take an entire deck?
No,
In
because
my
I'll
favorite
kill an
cards?
entire deck.
Okay, I'm gonna say Play Dead then. I think Play Dead is really, really fucking good, and I really like it in general. So I'm gonna say Play Dead.
All right.
Spike Race Steed because I'm a shitty control player.
That's fair. The control power.
I think Spike Race Steed is like, yeah,
It's like-
it's
what
just
is it, like
so
412
good,
worth
and
of
it actually
stats?
supported Control Paladin, which not many things this year even did. Oh no, I just remember my last one. We didn't mention it. Hydrologist.
Yeah, what a card, huh?
Hydrologist is I think it's such a good card. Like, it actually supported the Paladin secrets without you losing ridiculous amounts of value because it's one cost that does nothing. And also in Curator Paladin, I played that card so much that I'm like, yes, thank you.
That's fair. So Andrew, the cards that you aren't gonna miss.
So it's actually kind of along the lines of there's a few. So it's more to do certain strategies that I just hate on a personal level. So for me, probably the number one thing
Personal
I won't
level?
miss
What?
is Tugwoggle.
Ah, fair.
I
Fair fucks.
despise empty my deck, then give you that deck, and then
Or,
make you fucking
can we
fatigue.
point out?
I'll say
it
as a
was
general
also just
statement.
flip the
I
deck if you have a
personally
better
loathe
deck.
any decks that intentionally take it to fatigue.
Yeah.
I don't mind duking it out in
mhm.
fatigue, but if your whole game plan is to get it to fatigue, only get it to fatigue, nothing else, and then do that, I really don't like that as a game mechanic. And I think Tugwoggle is one of the most prominent ways of doing that. I can't fault it from a competitive point of view. Like, it is very competitive, but I think it's a very dirty way to win.
Yeah, Andrew's just saying it's not competitive, but if you play it, you're shit and you should die.
Yeah,
That's fair.
It's very
That's totally
competitive.
fair. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like anything, we've had that in
I'll
Yu-Gi-Oh! And other
translate,
things.
it's
Like,
okay.
sometimes you don't like it, but you know it'll win. So,
Yeah,
therefore
don't
it's
worry,
great.
Andrew. I'll translate for you. It's cool. All right.
Second one was probably Cube. As much as I love Cube over time, but at the same time, it's just broken too many things all the time.
Yeah.
And the third, I don't know. There's so many good ones, but maybe like Zola is probably something that was always abused a lot.
I was considering Zola as well.
Like, there's just so many things that it's like you should only be able to do it once, but then you get to do it more than once.
It's
like,
that thing
it's so
of
much
playing
it's so
around
different
the
to
playing
Faceless.
around the two cards in a deck, right?
Yeah, like Faceless Manipulator was one thing. But Zola lets you literally reproduce that same card at a low cost, and then you get to replicate battle cries as well too.
Look, I can summarize this. Pressed Beast. Come on. That and
Yeah.
Zola. That was before Seance was a thing. So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Sounds is
Yeah,
annoying in
it's
that same sense. But even just you've got that, you've got it in Odd Mage at the moment.
Oh my
You see
god,
it
yeah.
occasionally in just random stuff. Even some Warlocks did it every now and then.
Actually, I haven't bitched about that enough. Here's a good idea. Let's just make a deck where they summon Ragnaros that gets lifesteal, and because Ragnaros is a fine card that everyone liked. And then let's have you duplicate it and put it back in your hand to give you another fucking win con. Good. Oh, fuck, I hate you.
Okay,
if you play
we can
Mage,
start ranting about Mage. What's your 3 card you won't miss, Blake?
I definitely
we
went
did-
over
we
them,
did.
don't you worry. I mean, I can yell about it again if you want.
Yeah, we did Blake's one. We're up to you again,
Did
Floss.
you go through all of them?
Yeah,
Oh,
there were
okay.
3 mage cards.
Okay, I feel bad because 2 of my most hated are from the same class, so I'm feeling a bit like a Blake. First is
What?
Psychic Scream.
Yeah, good.
I really... What?
Good. I agree with you.
Yeah, no, Psychic Scream sucks. Think about Entomb. Now do that on everything, and also don't worry about filling your deck with...
It's like the inverse of Entomb. Entomb was I want to take your good thing, and Psychic Scream's I want you to have all the bad things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's
actually
like
the inverse.
I don't want to draw a Dustbreaker. Come on, I don't know. Shadow Visions for the reason we've already said.
Yeah, who
And
needs to play
Freddy
2
Blake.
cards? Yeah, oh, shit! Fuck.
I was surprised.
Fuck.
Nobody.
All right,
else said
I'll
fuck.
change my Dragon's Fury to Spreading Plague. Totally fair. Completely
Okay,
forgot
cool.
about it.
Yeah,
I was sorry,
Spreading
Floss.
Plague
I was only
sucks.
looking at the cards under Mage, so
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
yeah, you know,
I just thought it had to be there. I just hate it so much.
yeah, that's fair.
Did you just hate Spreading Plague in general, or did you hate 5 mana Spreading Plague versus 6 mana Spreading?
No, I hate it in general. Like it's so like I hated it in token. Like having to play around it's so hard as well. Like I
The
hate
fact
it
that they
in
can do
control
that and
I
then
hated it
buff
in
them
token.
all at once, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, good.
Yeah, like giving it the death rattle, summon 2/2s. Yeah,
Yeah,
like when
true.
it was cheap, they could do it a lot more. Obviously,
I suppose like that's
but
like
it's
anything though. I guess
still-
like it
not
was
so
the
bad.
hard counter to that, 100%.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
it
And
was
again,
very
like you
frustrating
can't
card.
play
for us.
wide, you can't play tool, you can't do anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had down the biggest losses, but I think we kind of went over that. I think like the DKs seem to be like the most relevant thing. I think losing those will actually like
For the
make
majority
game
of them,
feel, it's gonna make the game
No,
feel super
Rex
fresh.
It's a bit of a like in a quick
Mhm.
summary. It's like Warrior, no one gives a fuck. Warlock, huge loss. Shaman, no loss. Rogue, pretty big loss. Priest, mediocre loss at this point. Pally, pretty big loss. Mage, massive loss. Hunter,
I
massive
think,
loss.
by the way, I think
Druid,
Priest loses like pretty much their entire game plan.
yeah, until
like-
we see what this next set's got. I
yeah.
guess anyway.
Oh yeah, because they'll probably give made some stupid shit. Priest
I
some
think-
stupid shit.
The only thing on my biggest losses that we haven't talked about, like very much, is Cube. I think just as a generic card that can be in every class, Cube was so definingly good.
Yeah.
Like over the last couple of years. So I put
Umbra
that in
Cube.
my biggest
Umbra was
losses.
generic too, I guess.
Yeah.
Not
That's
as
like
relevant though.
generic big loss. Yeah, I had Rexar, Keep, and Tarim as my big three, I think.
Yep. Totally
Yeah,
fair.
Tarim, that's a huge one as well too. That's like,
Mm.
there's just so many things that you're just mentally prepared for at this point, which will change. Just so much, you know. You're like, yeah, it's when you verse in the Paladin, it's a great example. Like you do bad trades intentionally because you're like, I'm so fucked if Tarim comes down next turn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, without that, maybe it's not so bad. Similar to Shamans with Bloodlust in previous formats.
Is it just me, by the way? I don't know. It may just be me and my experience with it. But it's made shit. No. Is this rotation going to be way bigger than last?
Is what, sorry?
Nah,
Is
it's
this-
just your experience.
Because like, yeah, you lost like Nazoth, you lost, big boy, fuck me, I actually can't remember its name, Yogg. But you know, I think this feels like we're gonna have nothing left.
No, I think this is just your experience of not having played
Okay,
for long enough.
because the thing is also, by the way, I made a joke to Andrew before. How many cards are played from Witchwood and Boomsday?
Yeah,
Three.
very few.
Really
No,
acts
I'll
like-
actually weigh in
Like-
on that. I'll actually slightly disagree with you on that, Floss. If compared to what rotated out with Witchwood, Grim Streets, and Karazhan, I feel like it's a much, for at least a few classes, definitely. I think there's overall much bigger losses with these three than that previous
I
set.
don't know. I think every year is probably going to be pretty similar. Like I will only big agree in that I think the Death Knights
Yeah, I was about to say
defined
like,
everything after.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe true, but we've had a few adventures that have been like, I don't know, if you maybe compared to last year, but then compared to like League of
Like the year
Explorer-
before was
holy
huge.
shit,
Yeah.
like,
the keep
yeah.
was huge.
So maybe
Yeah, I
last year
agree.
was
Last year was like all three of those sets were relatively underwhelming. The best thing that came from that set, in my opinion, and this is a very biased opinion, but was Jade Druid from Mean Streets.
yeah,
like,
let's
that
just
was
take
huge.
out. Let's just take out a win con. Let's just take out a condition. Let's just piss off.
I mean, we
right?
sort of. Oh, no,
Um,
no, yeah, I was gonna say that.
But like,
started
yeah,
the
so like the
machine gun
things
thing.
we
Journey
lost, the things you lost kind of overall in last rotation was, if we really look at them, so like the Yogg, Yasharaj, and the Zoth, and then the Jades. Dirty Rat was a big one because I feel like that should be in Classic. You lost like the what do you call it, Kazakamus and that shit.
Yeah, we lost a lot of the Highlander decks and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, I just feel like they're between the DKs going like I feel like right now the decks that are played right now we're going to see probably one. I can't think of like a deck that.
With odd and even going, I agree with you.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I guess because they are actually banning 2 cards essentially.
It basically makes it a 1.5 rotation, right? Like we've lost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they were 2 of the only cards played from Witchwood, and they're now being forcefully rotated. So.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Right, I think we've covered pretty much everything.
That's pretty much it. Other than that, towards April, I'm sure we can do some reviews when the cards come up. Hopefully they will be cool and give us stuff to play because goddamn, we're gonna need it. Again, most of these effects should come in about April. From memory, Witchwood was like mid-April.
Yeah, mid-early April, I think. Yeah.
I should look this stuff up like before to be somewhat prepared, but I'm too busy like having a migraine over all mage cards and people that play mage, to be honest with you. 12th of April, so yeah, around then we'll probably expect some new stuff. Other than that, maybe if we can be bothered, make some more Hearthstone content for the channel. But big thank to the big Andy Drew, who unfortunately was too close to me physically to get out of doing this with me, and Floss for actually waking up and doing this with me. So,
thank you.
Big thank to my guys and gals, and we will see you soon.
See ya.
Gotcha.